Here's your script fully translated into American English, with a natural, engaging, and nostalgic tone suitable for an American audience. The 1970s weren't just a decade. They were a revolution, a movement, a time of pride and resilience for Black kids. It was the era when we discovered who we were, when our culture was celebrated, and when we found our voice. Soul Train's rhythm moved us. Our afros stood tall. The Jackson 5 made us dream, and Good Times showed us our own stories on screen. So, what's your most unforgettable memory from the 70s? Today, we're taking a trip down memory lane, reliving the 25 moments that shaped us. Let's dive in. Visual. Soul Train opening sequence. Don Cornelius's voice in the background. Host. Remember Saturday mornings? Rushing through chores just to plant yourself in front of the TV, waiting for Don Cornelius's smooth voice and the iconic Soul Train theme. It wasn't just a show. It was a celebration of Black music, dance, and style. From the Temptations to Marvin Gaye, Soul Train proved our culture was beautiful, powerful, and worth celebrating. It was our weekly reminder. Black excellence deserves to be seen and heard. What's your favorite Soul Train memory? Was it the dance line, the performances, or just the feeling of seeing yourself represented? Details: Soul Train's cultural impact, dance styles, fashion, and its role in Black media. Visual: kids with afros, teens in dashikis, 1970s street scenes. The 1970s were about more than fashion. They were about reclaiming our identity. Wearing afros and dashikis wasn't just a style, it was a statement. We rejected Eurocentric beauty standards and embraced our African roots. Our afros were symbols of Black power, and our dashikis connected us to our ancestors. Parents and community leaders taught us our hair and culture were beautiful just as they were. What was your first Afro experience like? Or the first time you wore a dashiki? Those years taught us pride isn't just something you feel, it's something you wear. The political and social significance of the natural hair movement, the history of dashikis, and the shift in Black beauty standards. Michael Jackson and his brothers burst onto the scene with energy, talent, and moves we all tried to copy. Hits like I Want You Back and ABC played non-stop, and we'd gather around the TV to watch them perform. The Jackson 5 weren't just musicians, they were proof that Black kids could be superstars. For the first time, we saw ourselves on screen, represented in a way that was exciting and positive. What's your favorite Jackson 5 memory? Was it their synchronized dances, their matching outfits, or the way they made you believe anything was possible? Details: the Jackson 5's impact on music and pop culture, their role as role models, and Michael Jackson's legacy. Visual: scenes from Good Times. The Evans family in their Chicago before Good Times. Black families were rarely shown on TV in a real, meaningful way. But the Evans family changed that. We're related to JJ's jokes, Thelma's dreams, and Michael's struggles. Good Times tackled serious issues like poverty and racism, but it also made us laugh. Seeing a family like ours on screen made us feel seen and validated. What was your favorite Good Times episode? Or how did the show reflect your own family's experiences? Details: the importance of representation in media, Good Times' social impact, and its legacy in television. Visual: Parliament Funkadelic, Earth, Wind and Fire, and Ohio players performing. Funk wasn't just music, it was a feeling, a movement, a celebration of Black creativity and freedom. The bass lines, the horns, the grooves, we couldn't sit still. Whether it was Parliament Funkadelic's wild costumes, Earth, Wind and Fire's anthems, or Ohio players' hits, funk was our pride and joy. What's your favorite funk song? Was it September, Fire, or something else that got you moving? Details: the origins of funk, its cultural significance, and its influence on other music genres. Visual: 1970s barbershops and beauty salons, people chatting and laughing. Barbershops and beauty salons were more than places to get a haircut. They were community hubs. That's where we heard the latest news, debated politics, and shared stories. For kids, it was a place to learn, to listen, and to feel like we belonged. What was your neighborhood barbershop or beauty salon like? Or what's your favorite memory from those spaces? Details: the role of Black-owned businesses in the community, the social and cultural importance of barbershops and salons. Visual, scenes from Shaft and Superfly, iconic posters. Shaft's leather coat, Superfly's swagger. These films gave us Black heroes who were tough, stylish, and unapologetically cool. For the first time, we saw people who looked like us as the stars, not the sidekicks. But these movies also sparked debates. Were they empowering, or did they reinforce stereotypes? What did Shaft or Superfly mean to you? And how did those films make you feel? Details, the rise of blaxploitation films, their cultural impact, and the debates they sparked within the Black community. Visual, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali, Hank Aaron in action. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's skyhook, Muhammad Ali's footwork, Hank Aaron's swing. These athletes were more than sport stars. They were symbols of Black excellence, resistance, and pride. Ali's refusal to fight in Vietnam, Kareem's intelligence and activism, Hank breaking barriers. These heroes showed us what was possible. Who was your favorite athlete? And what did their success mean to you? Details, the role of Black athletes in the civil rights movement, their impact on youth, and their legacy in sports. Kwanzaa wasn't just a holiday. It was a celebration of our African heritage, our values, and our unity. Each night, we'd light a candle and discuss one of the 7 principles. It was a time to connect with our roots and teach our children about pride, purpose, and community. How did your family celebrate Kwanzaa? Or, what did the holiday mean to you? Details, the origins of Kwanzaa, its significance in Black culture, and how families celebrate it. Schoolhouse Rock wasn't just for learning, it was fun. Songs like Conjunction Junction and I'm Just a Bill made grammar and civics stick in our heads. It was a Saturday morning staple that brought joy and education into our homes. What was your favorite Schoolhouse Rock song? Or, how did it help you in school? Details, the educational impact of Schoolhouse Rock, its cultural significance, and its lasting influence. Richard Pryor wasn't just a comedian, he was a truth-teller. His raw, honest humor tackled race, poverty, and the Black experience in America. For many of us, hearing his comedy was like hearing our own lives reflected back at us. What was your favorite Richard Pryor bit? Or how did his comedy shape your understanding of the world? Details, Richard Pryor's influence on comedy and culture, his impact on Black storytelling, and his legacy. Visual, Motown artists performing, vinyl records spinning. Motown wasn't just a record label. It was a symbol of Black excellence. Stevie Wonder, Diana Ross, Marvin Gaye, their music was the soundtrack of our lives. Songs like Superstition, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, and What's Going On spoke to our souls and brought us together. What's your favorite Motown memory? Or how did that music make you feel? Details, Motown's role in music history, its cultural impact, and its enduring legacy. Visual, 1970s living rooms with plastic-covered sofas, families gathered. Plastic-covered furniture, every Black household had it. It wasn't just about keeping things clean, it was about pride and taking care of what we had. Sitting on those crinkly couches was a rite of passage. What's your funniest or most memorable plastic furniture story? Or how did your family keep their furniture company ready? Details, the cultural significance of plastic-covered furniture, home life in the 1970s, and family traditions. Visual, roller rinks with disco lights, kids skating to funk and soul. Host, disco roller skating wasn't just fun, it was a cultural experience. The music, the lights, the moves, it was all about freedom and community. Black-owned rinks gave us a safe space to be ourselves and make memories. What's your favorite roller skating memory? Or what song got you on the rink? Details, the rise of disco and roller skating in Black culture, the social significance of Black-owned rinks. Visual, covers of Ebony and Jet magazines, families reading together. Ebony and Jet weren't just magazines, they were lifelines. They covered our leaders, our heroes, and our everyday lives. Flipping through those pages, we saw ourselves represented in a way that mainstream media often ignored. What was your favorite Ebony or Jet story? Or how did these magazines connect you to the Black community? Details, the role of Black media, Ebony and Jet's cultural impact and their legacy in journalism. Visual. Church services, women in elaborate hats, choirs singing. Church wasn't just about worship, it was about community, faith, and fashion. The hats, the hymns, the sermons, it all came together to lift us up. What's your favorite church memory? Or, how did Sunday services shape your family? Details, the role of the Black church in the community, gospel music, and Sunday traditions. Visual. Black Panther parties serving breakfast, kids eating together. The Black Panther Party's breakfast programs were more than meals. They were acts of love and resistance. They showed us that our community cared about our well-being and our future. What did those breakfasts mean to you? Or, how did they impact your neighborhood? Details, the social and political significance of the breakfast programs, the Black Panther Party's community work. Visual. Kids playing double dutch, hand clap games, laughing together. Double dutch and hand clap games weren't just play. They were rituals. The sound of ropes hitting the pavement, the chants, the laughter. Those games brought us together and created lifelong friendships. What was your favorite street game? Or, what's your funniest double dutch memory? The wooden spoon. Every Black kid knew what it meant. It wasn't just about punishment. It was about respect, boundaries, and love. What's your wooden spoon story? Or, how did your family teach you discipline? Roots wasn't just a mini-series. It was an education, a revelation, and a powerful reminder of where we came from. For 8 nights, we gathered around the TV, watching our history unfold with tears, anger, and pride. What was the most impactful moment of Roots for you? Or, how did it change your understanding of your own family story? Platform shoes and bell-bottoms weren't just trends, they were statements. Our fashion was bold, unapologetic, and full of pride. What was your favorite 70s outfit? Or, how did fashion help you express yourself? The corner store wasn't just a place to buy snacks. It was the heart of the neighborhood. It's where we spent our allowance, ran errands, and learned the value of community. What was your corner store like? Or, what's your favorite memory from those trips? Muhammad Ali wasn't just the greatest boxer of all time. He was a symbol of Black pride, resistance, and courage. His refusal to fight in Vietnam, his conversion to Islam, and his outspoken stance on racial injustice made him a hero to so many. What did Ali mean to you? Or, how did his courage inspire you? Homemade ice cream wasn't just a treat, it was a family tradition. Cranking that churn, waiting for the creamy goodness, and finally tasting the reward, those moments brought us together. What's your favorite homemade ice cream memory? Or, what flavor was your family's specialty? The smell of hot cones on Sunday mornings, it's a scent we'll never forget. Getting ready for church, sitting still while our mothers or grandmothers styled our hair, it was a ritual of love and care. What's your Sunday morning hair routine memory? Or, how did those moments connect you to your family? The 1970s were more than a decade. They were our legacy. From Soul Train's rhythm to the pride of our afros, the energy of the Jackson 5 to the stories of good times, we lived through moments that shaped who we are today. These memories remind us of our strength, our resilience, and our culture. So, what's your most cherished memory from the 70s? Let's keep these stories alive, pass them down, and celebrate the legacy that made us who we are. This script is designed to be engaging, nostalgic, and rich in cultural context. Each chapter can be expanded with personal anecdotes, interviews, or historical details. Would you like me to add more specific stories, music suggestions, or visual ideas for any section? Or would you prefer to focus on a particular theme or audience?